plant, is it? Okay. And why are you interested in medicinal plant? What is your final aim? What is your goal in life? Don't be shy. I want you to be relaxed. And you see me as a friend, okay? I'm a human being like you. I was in your shoes before like you. I was a student, very shy. And I want you to relax because we have a common enemy. And that enemy is death. It is sickness. And it is also, it's a bit weird, but the big pharmas. We are little soldiers that may perhaps one day save humanity from mayhem, a mayhem that is in our way no matter what, because of human greed, because of ecological disasters. Do you, semua orang di sini boleh faham bahasa Inggris? I'm speaking Malaysian. I've been there for 20 years, so. Okay, kalau tak faham boleh minta, okay. So my talk will be very pessimistic. I don't want you to suicide, okay? It's better to call a spade a spade. We are in a time in history which is unique. Capitalism, materialism has brought humanity to perhaps its disappearance. The lust for money and power, human, Homo sapiens, but it's not very sapiens actually. Basically, in our field of pharmacy, as intellectuals and pharmacists, medicinal plant researchers, we must be aware of some issues that are in our way. And this may answer a question, why am I studying plants? Because these plants may perhaps save us from an ultimate disappearance of human. Okay, so it's going to be quite a long lecture, so if you want to have a small break, you can ask me, okay? So let's go. I don't know how to do this one here. So, first of all, good morning. I'm reading my notes. I'm getting old, you know, so it is a real honor for me to be here today. I'm grateful to Professor Endro Nugroho and the Faculty of Pharmacy of Universitas Gadjah Mada for organizing this very timely event. I am so happy to see a young generation of people who are going to work on medicinal plants. It's nice. The aim of this lecture is to open your mind on important concepts regarding the fundamental importance of medicinal plants in Asia for the well-being and survival of humanity. This lecture will comprise 5 parts. The first one, I will go, of course, it's quickly because it should be taught for 5 years, but about a bit of history on between human and medicinal plants since beginning of humanity. The second one, I'm going to speak about what may perhaps bring us to disappearance of most human on Earth, which is the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, new virus. The third one, I am not an activist. I am a scientist. And as a scientist, I must speak the truth. Because if you are not speaking the truth, then you are not a scientist. Facts are facts. 2 + 2 = 4. So I'm not going to say it's equal to 5 to please people. So I will speak about pine mole deforestation, and its ecological consequence on our Southeast Asian country. So again, I'm not going to blame and demean Asians for choosing to cut their jungle, okay? I'm just going to say that's what's going to happen if you carry on. The fourth part is what we could possibly do at the university level and also at the research level. And the fifth part will be, I hope, if you have enough energy, the questions. And I want everyone to ask questions. There is no stupid question. A question is a key. The answer is a door to knowledge. A Chinese philosopher said, you might sound stupid by asking question one, but if you don't ask the question once, you'll be stupid all your life. So, relax, okay? So let's go. Human and even pre-human, like Neanderthal, used plants to treat or prevent illnesses. How did they choose these plants? And why did they choose these plants? Some speak of the signature theory, and others of, oh yeah, okay, but of serendipity. Are you recording the talk? Yes. Okay, thank you. Can you help me with that, please? Sorry for the technical disturbance. It's okay, you can put it. So some are speaking of serendipity, signature theory. Others speak of paranormal activity. And we do not know really what happened 90,000 years ago. There is no scriptures. We have some drawings on the walls. At that time, human was having a really spiritual and supernatural relationship with its natural environment. We were really human. We are not human anymore, or we don't live in a human world anymore. We have lost our human instinct. So far, the oldest manuscript we have about medicinal plants is the Pensao, which has been written in China about 2,700 years ago. How many of you in this room know about the Pensao? Pensao. This book written 2,700 years ago in China. It's okay if you don't know, it's nice. I'm not going to blame you or to demean you. I mean, that is a good, I'm going to diagnose you with perhaps a lack of knowledge, and I will not blame you for that. I will help you today to understand that you are being ignorant, but that is not because of laziness. It is because of a willful geopolitical will from our human masters. So you don't know what is the Pensao Kangmu. It's fine. So this book was written, and it contains the formulas and descriptions for about 1,000 plants, including cannabis. You've got here the reference, Hypnocarpus corsi, Iosciamus niger. Ephedra, ephedrine used as vasoconstrictor was already used by this brilliant Egypt, closer to Europe. We have here this 1050 BC papyri containing 250 plants. This papyri acquired by Ebers in the 19th century. And the Egyptians during antiquity were using many plants, of which Lawsonia inermis. What is Lawsonia inermis? What is the common name of that? You know the ladies here, when you get married, you put some colors on your fingers, right? Hinai. You know hinai? And also other plants like cinnamon and also boswellia. By the way, cinnamon grows in Asia, meaning to say that in the antique world, we had already businesses and trade between Asian countries and Europe and African countries. Then in India, we have the great doctor called Sushruta. How many of you know about Sushruta here? You know what is Ayurveda? He is the father, one of the fathers of Ayurveda. Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, Burma were ruled by Hindu and Buddhist kings for thousands of years. They brought Ayurvedic medicine. So this Sushruta basically describes already diabetes, and it describes about 800 plants, of which Gymnema sylvestre and Bacopa monnieri, which are now being sold online, which is basically, I feel, a crime, but I will go back into that. Please go to your internet, because the good point of this time now is that we've got Google, we've got access to journals, we have great information power is good, and check to get the books of Sushruta. How many hours per day you spend in reading books? You need knowledge. You need to read. Not books written recently, but ancient texts. Because they knew more than we know now. We have forgotten. We have forgotten our past, and we cannot survive if we forget our past. Now, Southeast Asia, Burma, Laos, and all of these were ruled by Hindu kings, Buddhist kings for thousands of years. And we have in Cambodia, for instance, the ruler Jaya Varnam VII. That was basically a great guy, and he made already some Ayurvedic hospitals in Cambodia. I would like to say here, something which is not in my notes, is that after studying the medicinal plant of Asia for the last 20 years, I want to say that this is the richest medicinal flora in the world. It's more than South America and more than Africa. It is really the mother of all medicinal plants and medicinal knowledge. Asiaio-Babylonians, we've got here some clay tablets which have been found in 1849, having the descriptions of 250 plants, of which Papaver somniferum and Acorus calamus, opium, and sweet flag. So please take these notes, and from today onwards try to read more about all of these things. These are small seeds which are put in your brains that may perhaps develop into trees of knowledge. Now, for us European, of course, the Greek civilization is everything. And we had a very intellectual and knowledgeable society, very democratic. They had some great doctors like Hippocrates, who describes already Oceanus album and Mandragora of Oceanus. All of these plants are listed in Corpus Hippocraticum and the Historia Plantarum. These books are on Google Books. Read them. But Dr. Wiak, you don't know how to read Latin. You have to. You have to be acquainted with Latin. You will go nowhere without knowing Latin.
You don't have to become an expert in Latin, but you've got to at least somehow try to get familiarized with Latin. You may have some, some translations. And these books, like Roman books, were used to practice medicine for 2000 years in Europe. The Middle Age was an age of intellectual stagnation, and doctors were using the writings of Roman and Greek physicians to treat patients and teach university in Europe until mid-19th century. Also Arabs, we'll go back into that. We've got here a copy, I found it on the internet, of the book of this time. Okay. Rome, of course. Caton de Hébert describes several plants. Dioscoride. How many of you know Dioscoride in this room? Okay, so I again don't want to humiliate you. It is an act of love and kindness for you. I am saying to you, you really have a problem. You need to know about all of these guys, all their theories and their plans. So I'm not asking you to read the whole Materia Medica of Dioscoride, but at least get some culture. I'm not blaming you, but if you want to become an expert in that field, for the well-being of the community, you need to read this. So of course, Dioscoride, made doctor in the Rose Army, so forth and so on. I will not go in detail, but again, the Materia Medica of Dioscoride was the Bible of medical doctors for 2000 years in Europe. We have many plants that we use today in Dioscoride books. De Simplicium Medicamentorum Facultatibus of Galenus. You know, we speak about Galenic pharmacy. Galenus was a great physician, doctor of Marcus Aurelius, a wise emperor, with a fourth element, hot, cold, dry, humid. I don't have time to go into that this morning. We need a full 4 years pharmacognosy course for that. And pharmacognosy course are being, sorry to say, but dismantled willfully by the pharmaceutical industry through their lobbies and accreditation boards. So you've got here a drawing of Arctium lapa. Arctium lapa is a beautiful herb that grows in Europe. And we have here this Arctium lapa. And you've got here in a book published in 1542 by this medical doctor Leonard Fox, wrote the Historia Stirpium Commentari Insignes. It is the book of pharmacognosy dating from the 16th century. And this great guy mentions Dioscoride, Galeno, and Apple. He writes here in Latin, Radix personatiae drachmae pondere cum pineis nocibus pota sanguineum et purulenta excreantibur auxiliatur. I'm not going to ask you what it means, okay? But basically it says that this plant was used by Dioscoride to heal wounds. And actually, you can find in publications that it works very well against bacteria. If I didn't come today, if you didn't meet me, all your life you know it was just great. I mean, it sounds very pedantic, it's not my practice. But we need to have this whole knowledge. Also, this is interesting, he writes, if I can find it, Vulnus, it heals, etiam si cancer erit cancer. Did you know that Arctium lapa could be useful for cancer? it's all about this. So Middle East, in the year 476, the Roman Empire collapses, and Europe went into the Dark Ages, and we have in the North Africa and West Asia the arrival of great intellectuals and doctors, including, we must be just, okay? Although today we don't move into the Muslim world and whatever, okay? We must be just. We cannot forget the fact that these people have helped us immensely in science, including medicine. One of them is a great guy called Ibn Sina, which wrote a book called Al-Kanun Tib in Arabic, which means, forgive me if I don't translate well, the canon of medicine, or the book of medicine. This book is from the floor until here that thick. It is almost a supernatural book. He knew almost everything. He died quite young, quite sad. We also have this man called Ibn al-Battar. Today they are Muslims because Arab traders came to Java, married this beautiful Japanese woman. I saw some of them yesterday. It's really dangerous, let's say. Okay? And you become Muslims, okay? Because of trade. And Ibn Battar came here and already were studying the plants used by Japanese and other people throughout the world. You have in your Indonesian traditional medicine jamu things a mix of Hindu, Buddhist, Arab, and perhaps even Dutch elements of medicines. Huge item, 1,000 plants. Ibn Sina has been used for the teaching of medicine in Europe for thousands of years last time. Okay, now Renaissance is after the fall of Constantinople. Printing was used to make books. Printing that originated in China, by the way. Now also we have some sort of Renaissance. We have Google, the internet. You just click, you get at once all the papers. It's also a second step in humanity for knowledge. And they were printing books, of which Regimen Sanitatis Salamitatum, because the school of Salerno was a great school of medicine in, these Middle Age times. Have you heard about the plague, the Black Plague? Yes, sir. Can you please let us know about this, if you don't mind?
It's a very contagious disease that I believe erupted in the Middle East in Europe. Killed millions of people.
Yes, that's good. And it was roughly, when was that?
I wouldn't know, like 1200 maybe?
Yeah, I think first 13th, 14th century. So basically you've got some guys from Mongolia, okay? It is a zoonosis. It is a bacteria called Bushmeat. Be careful. Remember, zoonosis. That's what may get us down. The rats, whatever, the mammals, the mountains of Mongolia were carrying that bacteria that were having beating some merchants that were infected by that horrible disease. With a train of spies, they went to Italy. They brought in their ships, they infected people, and I think more than half of them, forgive me, I'm not accurate on that, but an enormous proportion of Europeans died just like flies in the most horrible symptoms with huge bubons and pus. It was the end of time. You know what? It's coming back. Anytime. Not that Yersinia, something else. If we don't act, it's full speed on the way to us. So also on Nicorium Nicoli, print and research, so forth and so on. So it was a blessing of books printed on medicines, plants, and throughout the Middle Age. Leonard Fox was professor of medicine in Tübingen University, and basically he wrote for the Historia Stirpium. The book is on Google. Please open it. Please try to read it. Okay, it's fantastic. In fact, we know less actually. We know less about plants than they know. So, for instance, have you heard about Digitalis corporea? I want to apologize. There is a typo. L should not be italic. It should be non-italic with a dot. Okay. And this Digitalis corporea was known already of Leonard Fox. And he writes here, if I can find it again, I don't know, where is it? He writes, obstructionis liberationes, which means that it opens the obstructions. When you have heart problem, you cannot breathe well. Was Fox the first one to find the cardiovascular properties of Digitalis? We say that it was found in Birmingham in the 19th century. I don't know. So we can perhaps remember Fox in our books of history. Pharmacopoeia of Valerius Cordius, Dispensatorium. So at the 16th century, we had plenty of nice books of plants. Okay. I would like to say also that the 17th century, have you heard about Rumphius? R-U-M-P-H-I-U-S. He was a Dutchman living in Emergence in Indonesia. And we had in the 70s, the white man came to see the tropical countries not for charity, it was for looting. It was for using you as slaves. Someone told me yesterday that some Japanese were brought to Suriname by the Dutch. It's horrible. Okay? So they came here to use you, abuse you, and take your resources. And Rumphius basically stayed here, was blind. He wrote very nice books about Rumphius, R-U-M-P-H-I-U-S. Read his text. You will learn a lot about the plants of Indonesia. Okay. In France, in the 17th century, we have got, I'm French, so okay, I've got to speak a bit about my country, not because of nationalism, but because I know it. First school of pharmacy in 1626. Have you heard about syphilis? What is syphilis? Yes, sir.
It's an STD, right?
Syphilis is also a zoonosis. It comes from animals to humans. When the conquistadors went to South America, they had fun with the beautiful girls there, and they get that sexually transmitted disease. And because it is said that, although it's not true, that syphilis is born from some sexual relationship between some llamas and humans in these times. So it is zoonosis, bacteria or virus from an animal to a human. If you walk in the street of France, of Paris, or London, or Frankfurt in the 16th century and 17th, you'll be horrified. You have seen the movie, The Zombies? I never look at TV. It's the best way to make you stupid, okay? If you want to get intellectually, stop the news, stop the movies. It will open your eyes of consciousness. It will stop being hypnotized. If you want to be an intellectual, you must give in your hard disk space for knowledge and reflection, your own thinking. The news are showing you a picture and teach you what you should say about that. This is hypnosis and manipulation. Try 1 month without TV. You'll feel great. And you start to become higher intellectuality. So syphilis, basically, if you are in the street of Paris, London, or whatever, it is the zombies. People were having these horrible symptoms of syphilis. Their nose were falling off. Okay? People were dying. Zoonosis, second time I mentioned that in this lecture. Pierre Pommet was not a pharmacist, he was a great guy, he was basically a shopkeeper. But he did a great work by writing a book called, I think, Histoire générale des plantes, in which you have got already very high quality descriptions of the drugs. Drugs at that time, medicinal plants used in our beloved King Louis XVI, that was brutally beheaded, created the College of Pharmacy, and Bonaparte made the Écoles of Pharmacy in 19th century, free pharmacy. It was not a private school. At that time it was based on, we will speak about this if we have time, I hope so, on the fact to have a university system not based on money and capitalism, but based on competitive examination of students according to their qualities and skills. So by the end of the 19th century, medicinal plants are well described. It's the beginning, beautiful time of science, physiology, bacteriology. Humans were able to understand the mechanism of plant action pharmacology. In Asia, we have some books written by people like Ramsius. We have also books written in Bengal by someone called William Roxburgh. I hope you take note of what they say. We also have Barking in Malaysia. We have Kisunding in the Philippines. Please check books on medicinal plants in Asia dating from the 16th, 17th, 18th century. It is a wealth of knowledge. Now this is the first part of the lecture. And the second part of the lecture is going to be about what is in our way. So, we have a number of publications available now showing us that we have got a problem with bacterial resistance. For instance, this paper of Gadjah et al. Is showing us concerning increased rate of resistance of Escherichia coli towards fluoroquinolone antibiotics. Now it's first. We have got a paper from Mackenzie et al. Describing the first case of resistance of Klebsiella pneumoniae, which is a gram-negative bacteria, towards extended spectrum beta-lactamase. Can you tell me a bit about the discovery of antibiotic? Who has discovered the first antibacterial activity? Huh? I'm not sure about this. Huh? We have Fleming, right? And have you heard about Ernest Duchesne? Ernest Duchesne was a medical doctor, a Frenchman. He was basically the first to observe the inhibition of bacteria in petri dish, but he has been known. So, I'm not going to speak about the history of antibiotics, but as you know, antibiotics have been saving us. Before, when your ancestors in Java were giving birth, it was gambling. You give birth, but you can die because of infection. And now you can cure anytime, but it's going to change. So, Klebsiella pneumoniae resistance, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, is posing a great threat in hospitals. If you go to hospital now and if you press the button of the lift and if you don't wash your hand carefully, you may go back with an MRSA infection. Methicillin is an antibiotic produced after the resistance of penicillin. We are making antibiotics. The bacteria resist. We make another antibiotic. the bacteria resist again. Another very dangerous bacteria is Acinetobacter baumannii in hospitals. That one is becoming really very dangerous, and I read somewhere, sorry I forget, that this bacterium sometimes is basically not treatable anymore. So now, you're on page now here, you're in your 20s, right? So in 40 years from now, you will witness, if nothing is done, a very sad event in human history, which is the return to the Dark Ages. It's not from me. It's from the WHO. It's from great guys in top universities in New York and Paris and UK, not from botanists like me. I just repeat what I agree also with. I try to convey the message today within the frame of medicinal plants. So when you'll be 40, I hope I'm still alive. I'll be by the time 94. Okay, why not? Okay. So it's going to be very difficult. You will have to change your lifestyle. Next one is, so that was about the, no, we're still here. So there is a desperate need to find antibiotics. But our leaders, our masters, did you read The Animal Farm of George Orwell's? The book. So please read this. It's very nice. It will teach you about basic of human perspective. Okay? Our masters, our leaders, which I don't want to critique here. I mean, they have the power, they have everything, so I just speak humbly. I just demonstrate. I'm not humiliating anyone, I speak with respect. Okay? I see that what we see is that these powerful people, top CEOs of companies, are not willing to put necessarily forth develop new antibiotics. Why is that so? What's happening? We are depending upon those guys for our medicines. Before in the village you had an old woman that could treat you for something, but now we are in this capitalist, I'm not communist, I don't belong to any political party, okay? I'm out of this human stuff. In this capitalist system, we are now dependent on big corporations for our needs. I think that these corporations don't like medicinal plant researchers. The teaching of pharmacognosy has been progressively removed from syllabus. Did you have some class of pharmacognosy here? How many of you have class of pharmacognosy? Put your hand up, please. I say at least 1 year, not a module. Okay. So, 3 students out of how many? There are some people from Malaysia here. Malaysians, you have pharmacognosy class in your universities? So why don't you put your hand up? Huh? Okay. So, accreditation boards from Western country will come in Asia and say, and God is witness, because I was there, pharmacognosy is an obscure subject. How stupid, how absurd, how corrupt. Something that can save people's life is obscure. It's not obscure for them. It is obscure for the CEOs of big companies that are willing to lobby these accreditation boards to make sure that you will be deprived of a knowledge in medicinal plant that will help you to save your own people. If you don't know about botany, if you don't know about medicinal plant, you are not going to use your own resources, your germs, because you cannot recognize them. You cannot isolate compounds. You will rely upon the pills sold by big pharmas like this Eli Lilly, Novartis, so forth and so on. I don't criticize. I wish them all the best. You need to resist that trend, because these guys are not wishing you good health. They want to use your sickness to make money. Now, we are going to go for the third part of this lecture. I hope you're not too bored. Again, I'm not going to insult any politicians or business guy. I wish them all the best with their business in palm oil. It's just an humble reminder. When you fly over Malaysia, you can see hectares and hectares of palm oil plantations. And for that, you need to cut the forest. But you can cut a bit of forest. But you know, that forest is basically more than a forest. It is a biological system of life. It is part of us. If we remove all the forest, it's like cutting our own lungs. Do you know what is a negative feedback loop in biology? Negative feedback loop. Have you heard about the hypothalamus, hypophyse, sexual hormones diagram? So basically you've got one phenomenon, a stimulus. You've got here one biological effect. And you've got here a negative control. The stimulus that the knowledge people are putting down, and I respect them with respect. It's good to make business, it's good to be rich. I wish you all the best. That millions of hectares of rainforest destroyed, and by the way, that was the richest rainforest in the world, and the most ancient. That destruction of forests like the surface of Denmark in Kalimantan or Indonesia, that stimulus has an effect on nature. And nature is very patient. It gives us everyday flowers and birds and it's nice. But you know what? When nature starts to say, it's enough, that is going to be, we are going to be replaced by something. That will be the zoonosis. When people are entering the forest, they will be in contact with animals carrying some virus and bacteria that may perhaps infect all of us. That's how I see. You've got here a risk factor of human disease emergence, and by cutting nature, by polluting the seas, by bombarding people with plastics, you are basically calling for, you are begging for some bugs which are going to incur immense sufferings. If you want a copy of that book later on from the journals, you can take it, okay? I can give it to you. There's no copyright. Southeast Asia, our beloved Southeast Asia, was the richest biodiversity in the world, but as you can see with the numbers here, 13 to 85% of biodiversity should be gone by 2100. We are part of the biodiversity system. We are human. We are animals. We are mammalian. I'm still speaking, okay, I'm sorry, okay, but we are mammalian. We are not extraterrestrials. We are part of the biological chain. And if you cut the chain, we'll be gone. So I'm saying to this important people making money. So, if you want to continue doing business, if all of your population is gone with virus, you won't sell anything else. It's not a good investment plan. I mean, I'm not a money guy, okay? I just try to make them understand. It's enough with the palm oil business. Keep what you've got, but stop touching what is left. Because if you do, then don't complain. Human societies will be in a state of crisis. So again, deforestations, okay, so other papers showing that it's too much. It could be said by some intellectuals that the European Union and Western powers, which are not against, are basically asking for this palm oil for what they call, how could they speak about biodiesel? When it is made with the blood of innocent animals, the massacre of life is not bio, it's death diesel. It's not bio, bio is life. In Malaysia, we've got a lot of vendors, and okay, these things, Malaysia and Indonesia are the two largest producers of palm oil. I know today, I hope I will not offend the big guys. I don't want to get a bullet in my head in the airport, okay? I'm just speaking humbly and say, please wake up. Okay. Major exporters, 6.7 million hectares, 5% global production of palm oil. I think that the culprit is not in Southeast Asia. The culprit are some geopolitical forces in Western countries. The food industry. So you see these things here? How do you call that? How do you call this? No. That's a good one. It's junk food. It's fake. It makes you sick. It doesn't feed you. And what is this? It's nice, right? It's a beautiful form of life. There are babies like us. They speak to the kids. They feel pain when it's too hot. They cry. Look at that. Nicely. Don't forget the genocide that is going on right now in Southeast Asia. That is the way it is. And if we don't stop all of this, it will not be an aid. It will be you. Because when global warming goes skyrocket, that's how you handle it. One more? No. Okay. So, ultra-processed food is basically a danger for human health. I wrote a book recently with CRC Press in the US called Medicinal Plants. Please read my books if you can. Don't buy them, okay? But if you check my credentials on the internet, you can find some of my books. Read them. You don't have to like them, but read them, okay? And all of these junk foods and all of this highly processed food that you eat, which is not a human food. You're not eating human food anymore. It's a fake food. Your immune system is not going to withstand by eating snacks. Your body suffers with that corporation fake food. As Japanese, go and see your grandmother, ask her, what do you eat for breakfast, what do you eat for lunch? And keep to that. Because your bodies are Japanese bodies. If you take some cornflakes without genetically modified, it is very healthy. So, palm oil is linked to cardiovascular disease. This is not my claim. This is in great journals. And spraying palm oil trees will poison your waters. And you know in Malaysia, my beloved Malaysia, I've been there for 20 years, people are getting sick and everyone is dying of cancers there. You are paying the price. And gliomas, brain cancers, all of these pesticides are extremely dangerous. Drinking water and cancer, support and so on. So that could be the future, global warming. The ozone layer is basically disappearing. Means, have you noticed that in Java it's nice, the sky is blue and the weather is still good. In Malaysia, my God, it's very hot and stuffy. But you know what? It is just the beginning. Nature is starting to shake a bit. And once it shakes fully, my goodness, that's going to be a bumpy road. And you will not be able to reverse. It's too late. Human beings are the only one being able to destroy themselves. Not you. We are scientists. We are intellectuals. We are not important people. We are not the leaders. We just tell them, sirs, it's time to stop all of that because, you know, it's going to be the end of the business. So you want to buy a house in London, you want to buy a yacht to go in south of France, you can, we wish you all the best, but you know, if it is really going to be mayhem, your house will be of no use. You can't even take the plane anymore. And your grandchildren will die, all of them. So we must warn them, you know. Now, global warming is favoring the rise of infectious disease, including protozoa, malaria, plague, malaria, virus, and bacteria. By the end of this century, global surface air temperature is expected to increase by 6.4 degrees. More diseases, lack of clean water. Also, decline in rice production. We depend on rice. The agricultural yield is going to go down. When there is not enough rice, people will fight in shopping malls and it will be the end of us. We have to eat some sweet potatoes and go back to the villages. Now, the next portion of this lecture, which I'm sorry is very pessimistic, but I want to give you hope. This is the scenario as if we just close our eyes, everything is nice, relax, and this is just some theories which is baseless. It's not. Now, what could you do, you, the next generation of people, scientists, intellectuals, and academics? And I want to give you a bit of information on that. The universities, and especially in the field of medicinal plants, need to form some intellectual needs. In the field of jamus, for instance, medicinal plants, we need to reinstall a full teaching of pharmacognosy that will yield today's Indonesia Independence Day. So it's very timely what I say. If you want to have an economical independence, then you need to train some natural product expert and pharmacognosist in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Bangladesh, in the Philippines, which will help you to make your own. It's very easy to make. You know, I've been studying here for the last 20 years. I've made thousands of plants. You are sitting down in a mountain, in a wealth of herbs and rhizomes and fruits. All of these precious resources are not being used pharmaceutically. You are still importing drugs from the Western countries. This is lunacy. Ginger, cumin, so many of these herbs. Orthographists So many of them. Give me the name of some plants for some germs of Indonesia. I want to test your knowledge. Let's give names. Stirax benzoin. So, I have been studying, I won't speak about myself, it's obscene, I don't want to show myself, forget my eye, but remember my experience. You've got a building of herbs and plants awaiting commercial applications. So, and if the pharmaceutical lobbies manage to impose you through accreditation to remove pharmacognosy, you will never use this plant, and they will get what they want. You depend on their capsules, not on your own resources. That will not deserve the interest of the Indonesian, Malaysian, Thailand, Bengali, Filipinos, and people. You will not survive. You will, if there is one day a big pandemic or a war, if you import all of your capsules from, let's say, from Germany, there's no more plane, there's no more boat. You're gone. But if you've got your own resources, your own capsules, cosmetics, which you can do easy. You don't have to go to expensive patenting, all this FDA stuff is rubbish. It's for them. It's not for Asians. Do your own stuff. You don't have to wait for the white man to say it's okay. You are independent. Have your intellectual freedom. Teach in Indonesian. Don't teach in English. Teach in Malay, not in English. If not, your master will be the white man forever. You want that? No, be independent. You know what I mean? I'm not against the white man as well. There are good people in Europe. I speak about the leaders, the top 1% leaders, not the population. Right? Graduates nowadays are unskilled. Because education has become a business. This is wrong. Today I ask you questions. Only one or two manage to answer the question. I don't blame you. I respect you. But I feel sad because you don't know nothing. It's not your fault. It is the system. So you must find that. Because we are medicinal plant people because we don't want to be rich, we don't want to be famous, we don't want professorship, we don't want to have a Mercedes. It's an act of love for our fellow human. If you want money, fame, all of these rubbish things which are just temporary, go for it. Don't go for instance, become banker or you can sell shoes. Okay? Medicinal plant research is almost an act of religious devotion. It's a bit extreme, I let's say. It is sacrifice, hard work, love for nature, complete dedication of your life on plants for the well-being of fellow humans. Forget titles, forget money. Dedicate yourself, because once this civilization is over, there will be no more titles and business. You know? So I spoke about this. I need a pen to do this, okay? Read ancient text. Now, in universities nowadays, I don't blame private universities, they have the right to make money. It's okay. But in these systems also, the trend is that too much emphasis is given on administrative duties. If you become a lecturer to become an administrator, we don't have time for that. Universities have to give to administrators who do that timetabling, but me I want to focus on my plans, on my books, on my researches. So, something important also is the fact that you are not being taught anymore to take the time to observe. When you go to university, you have to do this assignment, you have to go on Moodle to do some IT stuff, you have to rush to the class. Yeah, the timetabling is crazy. That's not the way. at the time of Leonard Fox, at the time of Valerius, at the time of Pierre Bonnet. You know who is Pasteur? Louis Pasteur? French scientist, 19th century, father of microbiology. I spoke about the school of pharmacy done by Bonaparte, Napoleon. He was one student of that, you see. Why is that we don't have anymore some sort of great scientific discovery? Why is that students are unfortunately not unskilled? Because we are not learning anymore in universities. We are just attending classes for assignments. No, we should be given skills to observe. Take your time. In university, time. And open your eyes and think, ponder on whatever you're working. And think of your own thinking. The education system teaches you something and want to hear the correct answer. There is no correct answer. They teach you what to learn and they want you to give their answers. That's not correct. There is no correct answer. So, there's administrations. Also, for all of these Asian universities, beware of foreign accreditation board that will tell you how to teach and what to teach. It will not serve your national interest. It will serve their interest. And in our field of medicinal plants, the teaching will be done. So all of your germs, etc., all of that wealth of plant work, you will not be able to assess them. It is very important for Asian universities to offer a full pharmacognosy course. Is there anyone here with 4 years pharmacognosy course in your university? Yes, ma'am, you are saying yes? Are you saying yes? No. Yes? From which university you have the 4-year course? You have a 4-year course in pharmacognosy in university? Okay, that's nice. Are you being taught botany? Yes. My dear fellow scientists and friends, if you want to study medicinal plant, you must be trained in botany. Because you will have the skill to describe the shape of a leaf. It is a simple leaf, and the margin is crenate, and we have 12 secondary pairs, and the apex is obtuse, and the base is crenate. The leaves are opposite with a stipule, and the inflorescence is a seam. You don't have to go for standardization, extensive stuff with plants. The most important is the plant itself. And how do you don't have to go for HPLC, no. I say, this is Zingiber officinale Roscoe, family Zingiberaceae Martinov, because the rhizome is like this. I observe the border, I see this type of cells, I know this is the plant. Fine enough, you manufacture it. No need to go for expensive HPLC and all this. This is rubbish. When I go to the Philippines, when I meet with some old people curing diseases, they say, okay, Christophe, you've got that pain in the stomach. Take 5 leaves, drink it, feel better. I take it, it works. I don't have to go to FDA approval. I don't have to go for HPLC and percentage of common diseases. Also, if one day some of you become important people, you get power, which I hope that you become one day leaders. I forget what I wanted to say. I forget, I'm sorry. So basically, it is all about teaching, having the teaching of botany. Okay? Microscopical observations, basic chemical tests, extraction techniques, chromatography, and also learning the name of about 500 to 600 plants, their uses and their dosage. Now, whatever country you are from, I'm asking you to visit the poor villages, the slums, to visit the last generation of living traditional herbalists, to jot down the plants they're using, and to keep it as gold. In 2018, I think we see the large generation of healers. Please keep that knowledge. If you become lecturer, send students to the village. Take note of the plants, the dosage. Because once they're done, it's all right. And we need plants for the disease which are coming on the way. HIV is nothing. HIV is what? It's a zoonosis, right? Zika is a zoonosis. And what is on the way is worse than HIV, worse than Zika. If you want to buy medicinal plant product nowadays, you do what? Let's say I want to buy, for instance, some pericarps of Garcinia longostana for my health, or some herbal product. You do what? What do you do? Or you want to buy some Bactopavonieri there, you do what? Just relax and just speak to me like we are friends of energy together. Just do not feel intimidated. Just speak. Your mom asks you, hey, honey, you can buy me some, let's say, some that herb for my stomach. You do what? Yes, please.
Well, you can go to the market. In Indonesia, you can go to a traditional market. In the Netherlands, I would go to the pharmacy.
All right, that's a good answer, thank you. But let's say if you're living in New York, for instance, or in Paris, or if you are, let's say, working in Brisbane, in the tower, what do? You open your laptop and you do what?
You Google it.
You buy mine?
Yes, in New York, they also have pharmacies, right?
Of course, pharmacies, yes. But do you find in pharmacies of New York some border on the West Peninsula? I'm not sure. Or perhaps.
I'm not sure, perhaps.
So what I'm trying to say is that, thank you very much for your answer, full. It is my belief that pharmacists should have the monopoly of the manufacture and the selling of medicinal plants. And when you buy a drug online, it can be a scam. If you are not trained in pharmacology, you cannot certify that that plant is that plant. In Malaysia, there is something called Recommandifolia, which is used to boost sexual activities. Okay. One day I visited the factory. I don't think it was a Recommandifolia. If you don't identify the plant well, between one plant and another species in the genus, you may have some small differences. That one is therapeutic, that one is poisonous. Hence the need for pharmacists and botany education. So herbalists have been removed from pharmacy course. The public is left without pharmacy guidelines. You have poisoning cases, frauds, lack of nutritional and cosmetology values, and increased health bills. Fall in life quality. Do you know what is that plant? Madam, can you speak? Congratulations. And how do you know that? Yes, this is Anna. I'm so happy, really, it's great. Philanthus ambica, family Philanthaceae. We've got here a text of Sushruta. I wish that one day In schools of pharmacy, you have a lecture speaking about this and saying that it can be used for the treatment of diabetes. In Bangladesh, people are using this to control their blood glucose. It works. I am not against 100% these pharmaceutical industries. I am just wishing to see some sort of synergy between conventional drugs and the herbs. When you've got diabetes, you've got to take metformin. After many years, it is insulin. After that, but if you take your drugs plus some juice, you may reduce the amount of drug and you may delay the injection of insulin. We are not against the big pharmas. We tell them, let's work together. But they won't listen. Now, this is from Leonard Fox. And this is something called rosemary. Have you heard about rosemary before? Of course, you know, it's nice, okay? So, it is written here. Rosmarinus corrobora cerebrum, which means if you take rosemary, it will boost your mental abilities, and it does. When you take rosemary, your memory should increase, and in some excellent papers, they found some diterpenes which are basically protecting neurons against neurodegenerative diseases. It's not total, it's good advice. This is from Pierre Tonnet in his Histoire Générale des Plantes, and he speaks about as benzolinum. It has been used in France to make cough syrups for the last 2000 years. Europeans are using this Southeast Asian plant to make cough syrup, but you are importing from Australia and wherever some synthetic syrups. Are you with me agreeing that it is absurd? It is absurd. You know that plant? It is belonging to the genus Styrax, Styraceae, and it is perhaps Styrax benzoline. When you cut the trunk, you have a very nice exudate that goes out, which is vulnerary, and which is has been used in Europe to make cough syrups. When I was a young pharmacist, I sold benzoline syrup. Why are you not making your own cough syrup with your own plant? Again, I don't want to demean, just tell you something is not right. For Malaysians, you know that plant? Any of you are from Iraq? It might grow in Indonesia, I'm not sure. The name of this plant is in Bahasa Malaysia, kuling, pokok kuling. It is a timber tree. I think by now millions of these have been cut for palm oil. I did my PhD thesis on that many years ago. And when you open this seed, you've got an oil inside the seed that cures almost all skin diseases. It is as powerful as fusilin. You know, it's not easy for me in these 2 hours, although I'm so happy to be with you today, to open all the doors of knowledge on plants. It would require almost a lifetime. These are just small examples. Colline, the Scorodocarpus bornensis. Okay, you just jot down Colline, you can see. K-U-L-I-N. Yes. Now, my dear fellow Southeast Asian scientists, it's time perhaps to, instead of having too much admin duties, why don't you just for a while change your policies, your university. By the way, in Malaysia there's something called KPI, called K point index. This is absolute tradition. Lecturers have to, do a lot of admin to get points, but they have no time to think. And since we have so many bugs on the way, we must use the time we have left to think. So this can be used to treat Trichophyton, Brown, all the staffs, Staphylococcus. And if we are cutting all the forest for palm oil, it's gone. I don't know about psoriasis. I'm sorry, infectious skin disease. Yes, bacterial. To finish this lecture, I hope you enjoyed it. And I really hope that as a new generation of scientists, you will leave this room with a few seeds. You don't have to agree to what I say. You have the freedom to disagree. Okay? So, it is time. It's finishing it. How many minutes? 5 minutes. Okay, yes, actually it's 5 minutes. Okay. It is time to stop abusing nature. It is time to. I'm just a foreigner in Asia, I don't know, big guys, but I mean this lecture is recorded and please put it on the web, YouTube, whatever. It is my genuine hope that our leaders will have the realization that, okay, they want to make money, you can do, but we really have to stop cutting the forest for firewood. Because if we do so, the environmental condition will be so horrible that people don't go for shopping anymore. They stay at home. We have to go shopping at night. This is a commercial point, but also, of course, if you have the chance to go to Kalimantan or Papua New Guinea or any preserved rainforest in Asia, go there, collect a few leaves and don't cut the tree.